Hey everyone, we're back. We thought we might just do a little update on the Transat Jacques Vabre over the coming couple of weeks. It's an amazing race, a race that I can remember very well from 2003. I was sailing a class Open 50 called Helamoto, and along with Paul Larson, we managed to win the 2003 edition of the race. So it's great to be back. The last updates were obviously during the Vendée Globe, so I thought I'd dip into this race. There's lots going on. There's four classes. There's a lot of boats to cover. There's a lot of stories to be shared. But today's start was just magic. You know, seeing all those boats on the start line. You've got the all teams, the Yamokas, the Class 40s, 45 Class 40s, and also the Ocean 50s as well. So really big fleet. Good condition, tricky forecast, really tricky forecast for the first week. It's going to be quite painful getting out into the Bay of Biscay, into the Channel, and down into the trade winds. So yeah, it's going to be quite head scratching for this next sort of seven to 10 days really. So let's just have a quick look at the start on live on YouTube, which was just fantastic today. So we'll pick it up just in the final sort of 30 seconds before the start. You can see the conditions there are pretty magnificent. Closest to the camera, we got the all teams and the Ocean 50s. And you can see Sam Goodchild there in Leighton getting a really nice start. You can then see the Amoca 60s, and then in the furthest away, we've got the Class 40s. So final 5 seconds, they're all steaming in here, and that's it. They're off. So yeah, really good start from Sam, and the all team's already fired up and going really well. Just amazing to think that these boats are controlled by just two people on board, which is just astonishing, really. But you see Gitana really ramping up already, sailing through the fleet. And it's worth just thinking also about the Class 40s, because there's 45 Class 40s. Some of these boats are doing speeds, you know, in excess of what an old Volvo 60 used to do. I mean, it's astonishing to think that a 40-footer can be doing, you know, 10, 11 knots upwind and you know, nearly 30 knots downwind. They really are an incredible class now. So yeah, just really great to see this. And this was Charlie Dallan on Apivia and Louis Burton on Bureau Valley, coming into the final turning mark before they turn around and head down the channel. And you can see slightly different configurations. Apivia sailing with one reef there, and it looks like a slightly bigger head sail. Bureau Valley has got a sort of reaching head sail on there and full main. But both boats coming into this final mark here, they're a little bit underpowered, but I think as they turn around and head upwind, they're obviously configured for that, the next part of the course. But really great to see Louis getting the most out of that boat. Sam Maynard design does seem to be enjoying these conditions. Let's hopefully see it go well on this course. And just thinking about that shot there, you've got one helicopter shot of another helicopter in the shot. So I wouldn't want to get that close with the helicopters, but never mind. Anyway, let's get on and have a quick look at at the weather. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the tracker. And so this was the situation at 12:30 GMT earlier today. And if we just fast forward the tracks, you can see that a few of the boats tacked off fairly early. Some headed a bit further out, including Francois Gabard went actually quite far out into the channel before he tacked. And then you can see them closing back in. The all teams have already got around the point there, and now they're just sort of starting to crack sheets and put the bows down, doing really very high speeds in the 30s. And we're just getting to the Amoca fleet going round the very top point here. and then you've got all the class 40s. Interesting, the class 40s, not that far behind the Amoccas at this stage of the race, which just gives it an indication of just how fast these class 40s are now. So just going on from there, just going to have a quick look at the weather situation. You can see we've got this high pressure system that is producing this circulation, being the isobars are being condensed by this low over sort of Scandinavia, and it's producing this northwesterly airstream, which is what we're seeing at the start. But interesting, as we fast track this, this high pressure ridge really just pushes into the channel and across the Bay of Biscay, and it just gives the fleet a little bit of a headache as to what the strategy should be, whether they should push out west and get into the stronger winds, but predominantly upwind, or is there an option to sort of dive south and get into Cape Finisterre and around the bottom of this high pressure? The routing doesn't seem to favour that, but there may be an option for someone to get across the Bay of Biscay, very, very light winds, and then slingshot round the bottom of this high. But as we fast forward the weather into Monday, you can see that that ridge really, is stretched right the way across up into the channel, and very difficult to get past it and into the Bay of Biscay. So I think the only option is really to go north of this stage, and then we go into Tuesday, and you can see it's really messy in the Bay of Biscay. Pretty messy in behind there as well. There's not many options for getting south, and then through into Wednesday again. It's got this sort of weakening high pressure system with a couple of lows coming in behind it, which may give a little bit more sort of gradient, sort of squeeze those ice bars up. But of course, the wind's in the south, so it's not going to be easy to get down the track. And I think it's really, all of this week looking super tricky to get south until really we get into sort of the early part of next week, where the trades start to resume themselves. But not an easy passage. It's going to be a tough start. Okay, so let's just quickly run the routing. This is the pink boat is an Amocca 60. The green boat is a class 40. And you can see, if we just stop it there, come back a little bit, you can see as we come through here, the boats are leaving the channel. They're on the wind, and the wind's in the southwest. You can see very light in the Bay of Biscay, so not really an option to get south in here, which is why the boats are heading out to the west. And if we scroll forward there, they're just playing the shifts, tacking, and you can see this high pressure ridge here. It's almost sort of split. You've got very light winds in the Bay of Biscay. You also got light winds sort of pretty much straight down the track. But you can see this system here, and I think the Amocca 60s may just be trying to get around the top of this little low pressure coming in behind the high, but it certainly doesn't last very long, and the class 40s might have a slightly better time, but their track's taking them a little bit more south compared to the Amocca 60s. So that's it. Just a really quick update. We'll try and catch up again in 24 hours just to see what's happening with this high pressure ridge that's blocking the fleet as they leave the channel, and whether any of the all teams are brave enough to head south and get down to Cape Finisterre, and whether they can get across the Bay of Biscay in that very light wind. So look forward to catching up again. See you soon. Bye bye.